Hello, welcome. Christopher Hyde, Director Data to Think Now. I'm going to talk about city branding in this episode 2, if you're reading this in the newsletter or watching this video in the newsletter. And one of the things that people in cities are facing right now is the decision whether to attract corporations or not. And attracting corporations, you might have seen the controversy regarding Amazon. Amazon is a great corporation, no doubt, as a powerful force, but do the jobs that get created really deliver what they promise? Was it a good deal? I don't know that I'm really convinced it was. And another thing is what I call the punch in the face test. If you have a corporation that you attract to your city and someone somewhere wants to punch this corporation in the face, they don't like it. And an example would be something like Monsanto, which is a very widely disliked corporation. If you want to attract that corporation, your brand of your city is getting tied to that corporation. So brands tie to brands. Maybe it's not such a smart strategy. So when we're dealing with this, we need to look at attraction of corporations as one strategy. But another strategy, and there's much more detail of this if you're actually reading our newsletter, basically is to look at building local brands. Building local brands leads to a longer term employment because the cities that attract local brands are actually moats. Basically, it's hard to leave a regulatory regime. It's hard to leave once you know the rules. If you know how to play soccer, you can't go and play cricket. It's that basic. So once you know how to play soccer in a city, you want to play soccer in that city. It makes logical sense. So building local corporations can be a far more cost-effective strategy. But there's this anti-business element that drives me crazy. Here it is. We can't seem to help local businesses. We can't help business. Yet we can spend billions or millions to attract this corporation over here. But we can't help anyone. Wrong. And if you look at the successful cities in the worldwide, such as Munich, you'll see that they are attracting people, investing in Bavaria, but attracting and they're growing local businesses. You'll see that German cities do this very well most of the time. And they have close links to things like Fraunhofer. Funny, it works. Jeez, isn't that surprising? So this whole anti-business thing that has pervaded business schools in the United States, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It has about as much logic as a one-legged stool. It really has no logic at all. It's insane. Grow local businesses, support local businesses. That's one step. Another thing is to not focus on weaknesses. Weaknesses in cities. Man, if you keep trying to mitigate your weaknesses to become perfect, you're either a Virgo or you've got a problem. You cannot mitigate weaknesses in a city. You have to lean into your strengths. Much the same as the book said, lean in. Focus on the strengths. So a city brand needs to be built on the strengths of the city. And if you are in a city and you're a corporation or a business in that city, you need to leverage the strengths of that city to promote your brand. So Melbourne is an events capital. And it's also a cultural capital with a fine wine dining sort of atmosphere. Leveraging that for a city is easy, but also leveraging it for a corporation that's here is easy. And the sport leverages the city. So everything reinforces, enhances, builds upon. That's what cities should do, is build upon, enhance, and grow. If you're trying to build a city brand over here, it is the opposite of what your city is. Like, we're clean and green, but hey, don't look over here at this pollution. It doesn't make any sense. It's incongruent. It can't be congruent. So anyway, from the data, time and again, local growth, local innovation, focusing on developing cities. We rank cities for city branding. We have a really cool methodology for that. We can give you advice on that as well, and how to develop your city and your city brand based on the data, because the data says clear things. Avoid the fuzzy thinking of university. University professors at places like Harvard have gone off into la-la land. They're not in reality anymore. If they were, they've lost it. They've lost the plot. They really have. At university, they've lost the plot. What we need to do is to develop a city brand based on local innovation, and the data says one thing, and theory and all that stuff in the media says another. Just ignore it. It's a waste of time and money to listen to it. Anyway, build your local brand of your city. If you're a local business, leverage the local city brand. Focus on the positives, mitigate the negatives a little bit, and that's all you have to do. There's a lot more detail if you're subscribing to the newsletter. If you haven't subscribed, click on the link anywhere around there. If not, it's underneath, it's somewhere. Click there or go to innovation-cities.com and register for the newsletter. If you become a premium subscriber in the future, you can get the back issues as well, which includes this wonderful issue if you're watching it in the future or the past, or if you're a time-traveling Donald Trump. Anyway, much love. Christopher Hyde, Director Data from Too Thick Now. Not time-traveling, just being city-branded. Auf Wiedersehen.